Do you want to learn boxing? There are a lot of people who want to learn this sport, but are prevented from doing so by not having time to go to a boxing gym, or maybe fearing someone judging them or making fun of them because they don't know how to throw a punch. Even if that is far from the truth, and all boxing legends didn't know anything at first, but became what they became because of discipline and hard work, it's not too bad to learn the basics at home first. This way, you can speed up your process of getting better or just joining an intermediate group faster. For those who think they know how to fight but haven't trained at all, thinking they can beat someone bigger or even someone who has trained for a couple of years in martial arts just because they go to the gym and watched a few reels on how to throw a KO combo, you will be humbled soon enough. But if you truly want to be a man, learn the boxing basics at home first, so that when you eventually go to a boxing gym, you won't get humbled too much. This video is for you. First is stance. The stance is the foundation. When you see boxing fights and think they just put their hands up, that's it, you're wrong. Yes, keeping your hands up is a good habit and should always be incorporated, but there is a lot more to it. First, we must determine if you are orthodox, right-handed, or southpaw left-handed. This is important because it's like trying to write with your opposite hand. It's that hard. Of course, there are athletes and boxers who have mastered both stances, but you are far from that. If you are orthodox, your left hand should be in front of your face while your right hand protects your chin. The reason is that your dominant hand is more precise and powerful, and you can generate more power from your backhand. Your lead foot should also be the left one. For southpaws, the same concept applies. Your right hand is in front of your face, your left hand protects your chin, and your right foot leads. Your feet should always be separated, and your knees slightly bent to avoid being off balance. Second is footwork. Footwork is as important as throwing punches. Not only does it improve your defense and allow you to escape dangerous situations, but it also gives your punches power and helps create angles. Some might argue that footwork is the most important thing in boxing because without it, you wouldn't just be dominated, you'd be stomped. The first rule is always to move with your lead foot, whether going forward, backward, or side to side. By lead foot, I mean that if you're moving left, your lead foot moves first. If you're moving backward, your back foot leads. Avoid crossing your legs at all costs. Don't just avoid it, never do it. This leaves you vulnerable, off balance, and at risk of tripping and falling, which is embarrassing. Focus on being light on your feet, finding your rhythm, and thinking of footwork as more like a dance than a stiff fight. Drills that can help with this include stepping exercises or jumping rope. If you don't know how to jump rope, that's okay. Speed ladder drills can strengthen your calves and make you lighter on your feet. You don't even need ladders. You can imagine them or draw them on the floor. Third is learning to throw a punch. If you think throwing a punch is just about extending your hand fast enough and tightening your fist, then you know about boxing as much as I knew about math. But unlike me, you will learn how to throw a punch with practice. First, understand that the power of a punch isn't generated from the shoulders. It's generated through your whole body, starting with your feet. Let's take the cross, the backhand jab, as an example. Starting your stance. Distribute your weight evenly and stay on the ball of your rear foot for better mobility. Push from the ground. Power starts from your feet, not your hand. Push your rear foot into the ground to generate force. Rotate your hips. After the power travels to your knee, rotate your hips as if you're punching with your hip, not just your hand. Transfer to your upper body. The force should travel through your core, engaging it tightly, and your punching shoulders should roll forward to add momentum. Tips: stay loose like spaghetti. Don't tighten your fists until just before the punch lands. This saves energy and makes you faster. Now here are the 4 basic punches you need to know. The jab. Snap it straight out from your lead hand. Quick, precise, and retract fast. The cross. A power punch from your rear hand. Rotate your hips and pivot your rear foot. The hook. Swing in a tight arc with your lead hand. Imagine hitting the side of someone's head. The uppercut. Drive your fist upward using your legs. Keep it compact. No wild swinging. Fourth is defense skills. If you think a fighter just needs to train offense and neglect defense, you're very wrong. Remember, the sport's motto is hit and not be hit. It makes sense that a fighter who has mastered defense will beat a more aggressive opponent. But we aren't here to speculate or focus on just one thing. We are here to improve and learn every aspect of this combat sport. Here are the 4 basic defense techniques. Slip. Move your head just outside the punch line. Imagine dodging a rope swing. It's about minimal movement to avoid the punch while staying in a position to counter. Roll. Bend your knees slightly and rotate at the hips to roll under hooks or looping punches. Picture drawing a U shape with your head to avoid the shot and come up ready to counter. Block. Use your gloves or forearms to absorb hits. Keep your guard tight, protecting vital areas while staying poised to strike back. Parry. Redirect punches by tapping them aside with subtle, well-timed movements. This creates openings for counters without losing your balance or position. Now you're armed with the basics. Once you know the basics of boxing, you need to put them into practice. The best way to practice your skills without equipment or a partner is shadowboxing. You've probably tried it before, but might have done it wrong, and that's okay. Nobody is born with skills. Here's how to shadowbox effectively. Visualize a sparring partner. Imagine their moves, punches, and defenses. Try to counter, slip, or create angles like in a real fight. Always find a defensive escape after every punch and avoid staying in one place. Loosen up. Warm up before shadowboxing to prevent injuries. Stay relaxed like a noodle and start with basic combos like jab cross to find your rhythm. Focus on technique. Don't go hard. The goal is to execute punches correctly. Avoid throwing wild punches. They won't work in a real fight. Keep your combos concise, with no more than 4 punches. If you attempt crazy 6 or 7 punch combos in a real fight, you'll get knocked out. Examples of beginner combos. Jab cross hook slip uppercut. Jab jab cross. Jab cross jab cross. Cross to the body hook cross. You can experiment with combos or find beginner routines on social media. Add feints and level changes for variety. For footwork, distribute your weight properly to maintain balance, control your breathing, and always keep your hands up and your chin down. 5th is a daily training plan. Like anything else, consistency is key. If you commit to training daily, you won't recognize yourself in a few weeks or months. Of course, there's a limit to how much you can learn on your own, but mastering the basics at home is achievable and can take you far. Here's a sample training plan. Warm up. Spend 5 to 10 minutes on light cardio, steps, bouncing, or jumping rope. Shadowboxing. Do 3 to 5 rounds of shadowboxing, focusing on punches and defenses. Each round should last 3 minutes. Heavy bag, if available if you have access to a gym or can buy a heavy bag. Use it for practicing your punches. If not, substitute with resistance training. Core exercises. In with planks, Russian twists, or sit-ups to strengthen your core. For equipment, consider investing in light dumbbells, 1 kilogram, or resistance bands to improve shoulder endurance and punch speed. This training can be done 3 to 5 times a week. With dedication, you'll build a solid foundation in boxing basics, and the progress will speak for itself. Have you ever thought about learning a martial art like boxing, but felt held back by a lack of time, or nerves over starting with no skills, or even the fear of getting hurt? Or, if you already have some boxing experience, would you like to build a physique designed to make you faster, more explosive, and powerful with endurance that's tailored to striking? Imagine building a body that's not only visually impressive, but also complements your boxing skills. With a focus on nutrition for recovery, boosting testosterone, maximizing energy, and overall health, backed by my extensive study of reaching the highest natural testosterone levels possible, this program gives you everything you need and more. Take control, train like a predator, and unleash your full potential. Be the tiger.